Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
We'll show you how to remove the hood latch with the bumper removed. It's a little bit easier to get access to these three 10mm bolts. You can certainly do it with the bumper here, but again, it might be easier for you if you take the bumper off. I'm going to put some protective tape along the edges of the bumper and the fender so that while we're handling the bumper, we're going to avoid scratching up the paint. Just repeat this for the other side. So take the front bumper off. You don't have to have the car in the air, but it does make it easier for us to show you what we're doing. You're going to remove this 10mm bolt here. There's one here. Follow them right across the front. One here, here, another one here, and this one over here. Use a 10mm socket. They do have a spot in them for a Phillips head screwdriver, but the socket makes it a little bit easier. To remove these lower splash shields, I'm going to remove the other 10mm bolts. One over here. I'm going to remove these bolts here. Somebody probably replaced these with aftermarket ones. They're most likely going to be 10mm like the other ones, but on this car, they're 1/4 inch. On each side of the bumper is a small plastic clip. You use a flat-bladed screwdriver to turn it 90 degrees to unlock it. We can use a plastic prying tool like the ones you can get from 1aauto.com. Pry it out. Put that aside so we don't lose it. And that's what's holding in the bumper to this fender liner. Once you remove this pin, you gotta move up here and you can pull down the fender liner. There's a hidden fastener up here. It's 10mm. Also has a Phillips head screw head to it, but I'm gonna use the 10mm socket because it's easier. I'll remove it. Repeat this for the other side. This bolt might be a little rusty underneath. I'm going to spray some rust penetrant. Take our 10mm socket and remove it. This is one single bolt that is holding on this entire metal support that's on the top of the bumper. On both sides of this bumper, there's a screw with sort of a rubber cap around it and a bunch of these push pins. This larger one here attaches to the headlamp assembly. It's actually broken on our vehicle, so it needs to be pushed out so the bumper can come apart. I'm gonna leave this one in here because it's already broken. We're gonna remove this, and then the other side I will push this pin out. I'm using a Phillips head screwdriver. That feels pretty rusty. I'm gonna use some rust penetrant in there. See how the top of this bumper is now loose, so it's come off of this metal bracket. And it should be pinned into here on the headlight, but this part of the headlight is actually broken off. I need to push this pin out. It's gonna be pretty difficult where it's like a flush mounted pin, so I'm going to take a plastic prying tool that you can get from oneauto.com. I'm going to push it in here and try to pry up on that. Might work, might not work. Might just take a very small flat-headed screwdriver and go up in here. And that actually did the trick. So that will be loose from the headlight assembly. Now I need to remove this screw. With all the fasteners removed, the bumper should unclip from the body. You have to give it a bit of a pull. It's going to pull off of this bracket. It snaps into here. It's going to actually sit on top of those metal brackets on the top of the bumper, so that's okay. Do the same on this side. Just kind of reach your hands underneath, get a firm tug. With it loose, you can lift the whole bumper off. Remove the hood latch, remove the 3 10mm bolts that are holding it on. Pull this out. Kind of slide it out between the sheet metal. And just move the horn out of the way. Now I've got some more slack. Take a flat bladed screwdriver and just pop this cable out of where it's sitting. Now with it out, I can slide the little weighted end just out of there. The hood latch is removed. Reinstall the hood latch. Take a hood cable. It was behind here. And get the little lead weight part looped into here. Then we need to push the plastic part up into the bracket, just like that. It's pushed up. Spin this over, and then go behind that, down and over, and get it lined up. These 2 upper bolts, one here. It does have a little bit of adjustment, but you can kind of see where the original, there's an outline where the original bolt heads were. For now, I'm going to line it up with those and hope that it stays the same. If not, I'll have to come back and adjust it. So you can move it around. So just do your best to line it up with where the marks were from the original bolts. We'll reinstall the bumper. We'll hang it on the top brackets. This is why we put tape, so as we're moving around, we don't scratch anything. This can be pushed back into the bracket now. Same for the other side. Install the push clips, go into the headlamp. Reinstall these little rubber bumpers that have bolts in them, the Phillips head screw. Reinstall the bolt on the top of the bumper. And reinstall these plastic locks. They went in this way, and then turned. Install the self-tapping screw that's up here behind the fender liner. Reinstall the locking clip. Reinstall the self-tapping screw that's behind the fender liner. Reinstall the splash shield. Slide up into the bumper. Install the other half. This piece went up into here. Just reinstall whatever hardware that's original to the vehicle that you took out here. Peel off all the tape we're using to protect the bodywork. If you need to adjust the alignment of your hood latch, you can loosen the 3 bolts, move the hood latch to where you need it to be, and close the hood. You can check the alignment of this panel gap between the hood and the fender, and the same on the other side. And along the edge of the bumper, our car looks good, so I'm going to leave it alone.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.